Look at my backyard chicken flock.
So what's up, you guys? Just wanted to show you some of my backyard chickens. I haven't really shown my chickens in a while. I have 19 chickens left. At one point I had as many as 30, but anybody that's ever owned chickens will tell you that sometimes they just mysteriously die. Out of nowhere, you find a dead chicken just suddenly. But yeah, currently 19 chickens, and of those 19, we range anywhere from about 8 eggs up to 16 eggs in any given day. They don't lay necessarily once a day, but it's usually about once every maybe 30 hours, so that's about once a day. But I haven't shown my chickens in a while, so I thought I'd get on this impromptu Instagram Live to show you guys. And you see, early in the morning is when they love it the most because it's wet out here on the grass. So they're eating the grass like this one is here. And so they're getting the water, and they're getting the grass. And of course, I set up these little water buckets all over the backyard, especially this time of year when it's really hot outside. It's just easier for them. I know there's these apparatuses, and we tried them when we first got these. We tried having the apparatus where you turn the water upside down. It was hard to keep the water in there. So we ended up just getting these little dishwashing tubs, basically is all that is. I think they were like $2 at Walmart, and just put them all over the backyard so they get plenty of water, plus inside the Taj Mahal over there, which I'll show you guys that haven't seen it yet inside there in a minute. I call it the Taj Mahal because it's basically a grand mansion hotel for their sleeping quarters and their eating quarters. But yeah, if you just joined us, I thought I'd come on impromptu on Instagram Live just to show you my chickens. It's been a little while since I've shown you chickens. Oh, there's one. You see, they have little chicken fights. There is a reason they call things the pecking order. There are some more dominant chickens than others. I'll tell you, this big one here and that breed tends to be a little more dominant because of their size. And so, yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, early in the morning, they like to come out here and peck on the ground looking for food. Oh, see, that one stole. See, this one found like a bug or something on the ground, and that one over there yanked it and stole it and ran away with it. Now she's over here munching it down. You little dirty dog. That was hers. Why did you steal that? They are very, very protective of their own self and their own interests. You know, we like to think humans are very narcissistic and self-centered. Oh, look at him. See, she's still pissed because that other chicken stole her worm or whatever she found. We think they're all timid animals. These animals will cut your throat for food. Do you have to feed them grain or scratch high in omega-6? No, I don't feed them grains per se. What you're seeing them eat now on the ground is their primary source of nutrition. They get the grubs, they get the grass, they get the bugs, pretty much anything out here. And I've got a big like I've got 3/4 acres, and so most of that 3/4 acres is this backyard. So they're able to eat what's back here. I do have a feed for them, but as far as I know, it's not made of grains. I can show you that here in a minute. We also throw them some mealworms, dried mealworms. And then, of course, I feed them regular human food as well. And ironically, people freak out when they hear about this, but ironically, their favorite food, don't laugh, is chicken. Yes, chickens are cannibals. They will eat Uncle Ralph if he tastes good. And so people freak out because like I'll eat a rotisserie chicken and I'll have the carcass left. And I will throw the carcass out here to the girls. And within 15 minutes, that whole thing, bones and all, will be completely demolished and destroyed and disappear. So they are savages. I hope to raise my own chickens on just worms and bugs, but everyone was telling me it can't be done. Well, it's challenging if you don't supplement. During the summer, it's a little bit better because there's more grass on the ground. And I usually let the grass back here grow up a little bit more than I do in the front yard. Simply because I know it's food. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet of vegetables. And of course, the bugs that come up, and you'll see there's like a hole here in the ground where they dig in the ground. That's twofold. When they dig in there, they get the worms and the grubs and all that coming up to the surface. So they're able to consume that. But it's also a cool place on the ground. So they dig in the ground and they'll bury themselves in the ground to cool off. So it's pretty interesting how they are very instinctive about what they do. Yeah, you gonna talk to me? Yeah? Hi, baby. Hi, pretty girl. Hello, hello. Sometimes people ask me if I have names for them, and I'm like, okay, if this is gonna someday be my dinner, I don't want to have a name for it. So our original flock, we did have names, and I have one bird. I'm not seeing her out here. She might be inside the coop, but I have one bird left from my original flock. The original flock was 6 birds, and I did name the original 6. And so that bird's name is Squawky. She's a Rhode Island Red, probably inside the Taj Mahal. So I might go in there in a minute to see if I can find her. But she's our old lady of the flock. I want to say she's 7 now, 6 or 7 years old. These right here are the ones that we grew from chicks. And they're coming up on, 2 or 3 years old. I stopped counting after a while, but chickens are a lot of fun, you guys. And they're not as hard work as people might think. Sometimes people are like, well, I don't know anything about chickens. Yes, neither did Jimmy Moore until I started getting them and raising them on my own. Yeah, Beth, it's almost hard not to call that big monstrosity of the building, not call it the Taj Mahal, with all due respect to the Taj Mahal. So, but this is what they do in the morning, early in the morning, especially. They like to come out here and graze on the grass. They do love it when I mow the grass. So I'll come out here and mow, and I'll be mowing along this way, and they'll come and eat the cut up salad bar, so to speak. And so I'm considering raising those small Jersey cows for milk. They're really small, like a big dog, so it could fit your yard. Yeah, I could consider that. I've thought about having goats for the same reason. I would have loved to have had, especially back here in my little corner back here, I've got plenty of room to make a mud pit for maybe having some hogs. After a while, though, you have to consider all the things. Is it worth the noise? If there's noise, is it worth the smell? And again, I'm kind of in a residential area, so I don't want to push the envelope too hard. What? I don't want to push the envelope too hard on the animals. I have 19 backyard chickens, and I think technically I'm only supposed to have 6, something like that. Sheep milk is better than goat. Well, again, I have to take all the things under consideration. Now, some people say, okay, these chickens poop all over the backyard. Doesn't it stink out here? And honestly, I'm out here right now in the midst of it. It doesn't. Now, some may say, well, you've gotten used to the smell. Maybe. I do know that I keep the yard clean. Like you can see little poop everywhere. But I don't smell a poop smell. You know, people just automatically assume there's just going to be a poop smell everywhere, and it really isn't. Some people often ask me, so do you have any roosters in your flock? And the answer is no, because I am in a residential area. I don't keep roosters by design because I care about my neighbors. And 5:30 in the morning with a rooster going would not be good. So no, I don't have any roosters. And some people are under this mistaken notion that you can't have eggs unless they're fertilized by a rooster. And I'm like, well, no, they lay eggs every single day. Now, what won't happen is if that egg was never harvested and consumed by me, it would never turn into a little baby chicken. That's the difference. Natural manure, yes. Yeah, and it does. Look how green the grass is in the backyard here. I mean, it's really, really nice to have all that free fertilizer. And yes, it probably grows. The grass grows about twice as fast back here because of the chicken poop. Yeah. All right, let me show you inside here. And by the way, I had to lay down some like quick dry cement. This used to be extremely muddy because we're kind of on a slope here. So it's higher down there and this kind of slopes down. So because it's lower ground here, all the water would drain to right here and it would get so muddy. So I had to throw down some concrete and it does the trick. So, all right, let's go inside the Taj Mahal. See if I can find Squawky for you while I'm in here too. Squawky, yeah, there's Squawky. She's the Rhode Island Red right there. She's my oldest one in the flock. So here's the feed. It's this nice little supplemental. They hardly eat any of that during the summertime because there is an abundance of all kinds of food out here in the yard. They don't really eat a lot of this, but it does give them various nutrients that helps with shell production. So that's the primary reason we use that, because if they don't get enough of certain nutrients, the shell can't produce. And when they lay the egg, it just lays this clear membrane with the egg inside, but there's no outer shell, and it's very susceptible to them eating it. In fact, right now I have one of them, we don't know which one, but one of them is actually eating their eggs. They'll lay it, and then they'll peck it open. For some reason, they have a desire to do that right now. Y'all are very noisy. It's kind of good for the video so they can hear how noisy you are. Yeah. So as you can see, we have this little setup here. This is the old coop when we first got the original 6. Then I had this whole little apparatus built here. The main part is the little nesting bars right here. The little cubby holes. This is where they lay the eggs, is inside of here. And then another nesting bar. Some of them sleep up here at night. Some of them sleep inside at night. Some of them sleep inside the cubby holes. They just make really good use, and this is the Taj Mahal, and it's an open air. It's got little air that comes in through there. I had this custom built just for me. Yeah. Pretty cool setup, huh? Hi. Hello. You gonna say hello to the peoples? You wanna say hello to the peoples? Nope. Now, when we first got chickens, some of them were pretty friendly. One in particular we had from the original flock. We called her Speedy Gonzalez because she was very fast when she first started. When she was first in the backyard, she would just zoom, zoom. So we called her Speedy Gonzalez. She was the kindest chicken I think I've ever seen in my life. Literally, as all the other ones ran the other direction, she ran towards us and would let us pet her, would let us hold her. These here are a little more timid. Like I could probably get somewhat close to some of them. What you'll see them do, if I get close enough to some of them, they will squat down. And if they squat down and wiggle their feet a little bit, then they're okay with you petting them. So see, she's not quite ready for me to do that. So they're not always friendly. And of course, I don't see them as pets. I mean, I obviously honor their animalhood. I don't disrespect the animals, but I do try to care for them because, quite frankly, they're the ones giving me pretty much all my nutrition right now. I'm kind of subsisting on eggs as my primary source of nutrition with the financial difficulties everybody's going through right now. Yeah, tell me more. What else you got? You want to say something else to the camera? Yeah? How about you? Yeah? Yeah? What else? Anything else? No? I love the little noises they make. It's so funny because some of them make like whining noises, and then other ones like that one. It's just funny all the noises they make. What's amazing is sometimes I'll see them out here in the yard here, and there will be like some bugs flying around or whatever. I have seen some of these chickens jump straight up in the air, grab a bug out of the air with their mouth, and pull it down and then just demolish it. Yeah, anybody that thinks chickens are timid, you ain't seen chickens in action, because they are one of the most aggressive animals I've ever seen. Pretty amazing. And they like to groom. Yeah, don't you like to groom? You see yourself grooming? Are you getting that itch inside underneath your feathers? Yeah? You like to groom? Are you grooming yourself? Yeah? So because they're hens, they're all girls. And again, if you joined us late, this is my backyard chicken flock. We don't have any roosters on the property for all the obvious reasons. I suppose if I was going to try to breed chickens that I would need to get a rooster or two. But pretty fascinating, right? So I will tell you, as it gets hot during the daytime, they do tend to come where the shadows are. So here's my big man cave building. They usually come and they line up right there, or they'll line up right there because it's shadowy. You can also see where they've dug holes here and over here, very bad holes that they dug. They love it right in here. And of course, back here in this little corner is very shaded most of the day. So they like to hang out back here as well. But as you can see, it's a very big yard for them to roam around in. If you ever get chickens, make sure that you give them plenty of room to roam, because roaming is what they're designed to do. That's what's called free range, when you let them just kind of roam around on property. And obviously there's no cages out here for them to be caged up in. And yeah, I live in a residential area, so the only predator per se, if you want to call it that, is we do have cats that end up in the backyard. They somehow squeeze through that little opening there in that crate and they get back here, but I have not seen any of them be aggressive towards any of the girls. I did see one day that one of my original flock, Snow White, actually had cut marks on her, so I don't know if she got mauled by one of the cats. But again, I see cats all the time back here, and they hardly ever mess with the chickens. So I don't know what happened to Snow White, but she did die a few months ago from that. So, whew. And there are bugs galore out this morning. Early in the morning, you got the bugs. You want to say hi to the camera? No? Are you camera shy? Are you camera shy? Don't be camera shy. I'm gonna try to pet one of these bad boys before I get off of here. Yeah? Uh-oh, this one's running from me. So I used to have this enclosed in back here, and I had like a fence right here that blocked it, but we got a tornado that came through earlier this year that totally demolished it. So you can see where it used to be attached there, but it just demolished it. So now they have free, open range to walk around. Yeah? Y'all just chilling like a villain this morning? Yeah? I love how they just walk around and they just, like that one over there, look at her just eating away at the ground. What's funny is one will start eating at something on the ground. Someone will come over and think they've found something and eat at the same ground. It's the same ground next to them. But for some reason, again, very territorial, very narcissistic animals, they will come and try to steal what you've gotten. I also throw them some food every once in a while. In fact, let me go inside and get some of the mealworms. Let's see if I can coax them over so you can see how they respond when they got food. Bear with me just a second. I'm gonna walk by my litter box of my kitties. Hi, kitty litter box. All right, so we got these mealworms. Watch how they react when I bring these out. See how excited they get? See, they know where to stand too, man. All right, let me set down the phone so I can open this up. They're getting ready to have a nice breakfast. Yeah? Are y'all excited? Are y'all excited? Just sometimes I'll throw them just a few. So I got a few mealworms right here. Woo! See how they go for them? And throw them a few more. And throw them a few more. And then I go to town. Yes, Beth, mealworms are definitely crack for chickens. I have tried the live ones. In fact, I tried to raise my own mealworms because this bag of mealworms is expensive. What is this? This is the 11 pound, is about 50 bucks, 50, 60 bucks. So yes, I did try to raise live ones and it never worked. So I ended up feeding them the live ones. So yes, they have had live ones, but not near as fun as the freeze-dried ones. You'll also see out there little bits of egg shell. So this morning I had my 8-egg breakfast that I typically have in the mornings. And I throw them the shells. And some people are like, wow, they eat their own shell. Yeah. So what that does is it gives them more nutrients in their body that will help them create the shell for the next egg. So if you ever get chickens, feed them back their shells when you eat their eggs. My friend keeps live mealworms in an aquarium with sawdust. Yeah, I tried. I don't know what happened, Beth, but I couldn't get them to grow, couldn't get them to do anything. So I gave up. But they love these mealworms. And like I said, they eat their own shells. It's pretty fascinating if you've never had chickens before. But literally, this is the entire flock right here. All 19 of them right here. I always know when one is probably hurt or maybe dead because I'll throw something like mealworms out, and if there's any missing, they don't miss food. So this is a telltale sign that I can find all of them. Yep, they're all here. Yeah, are you girls happy? And of course, they get sunshine during the daytime, so that helps to put vitamin D into their eggs. And of course, they're eating on this beautiful green grass, so that's getting micronutrition into their eggs as well. I regularly post on Instagram stories the yolks so you can see how deep orange they are. And yeah, I think they're well taken care of, and we give them a beautiful place to live and stay at night. So if you're gonna have chickens, don't keep them locked up all day. I do know people, they get chickens and they put them in like this concrete block of a storage space, so to speak, and they never let them out in the sun. They never let them dig in the ground. Digging and scratching and eating the natural food that's in the ground, including the grass and the grubs and the bugs and all that, that's what makes nutritious eggs so good. Okay, Beth, thank you so much. And I can tell you firsthand, I have these eggs every single day. I've been eating fresh backyard chicken eggs for about six or 7 years now. And it was one of the best things I ever did. And I literally can never go back to eating store-bought grocery store eggs again. It's pretty gross now by comparison. Now, if that's all you can afford, fair enough. But get you some chickens and you'll see what I mean. You girls are just so happy. Am I doing something right to take care of you? I hope so. Hope so. Yeah, if you joined us late, this is my backyard chicken flock. They have this nice big backyard, you guys, to roam around, to dig, to have an all-you-can-eat buffet of food. That right there is their Taj Mahal, where they can sleep at night and get food, supplemental food when they need it. And yeah, basically the whole backyard is their playground and their livelihood. Is that a good breakfast, you guys? Do you like that? I wish I had gotten chickens many years before, but all I can say now is if you don't have chickens and you're able to have chickens, get chickens. Don't worry about not knowing what you're doing. Trust me, I was the king of not knowing what I was doing when I got them. And the original flock was 6 of them. And it was a little bit overwhelming at first because I'm like, oh my gosh, what if I kill one of them? What if, all these what if questions. And I just bit the bullet and decided to get them. And it was the best decision I ever made. Because they are wonderfully hilarious creatures. They give you hours of entertainment. I really wish I had a rotisserie chicken I could throw at them because they would devour the whole thing. But yeah, they'll literally eat any food at all. When I have leftover, like let's say I cooked a couple of ribeyes and I get full and I don't have any, I don't want to throw away the rest of the steak. I just throw it out here to the chickens, and oh my gosh, you should see them fight over the chicken. The chickens fighting over the steak. They love them some meat. They'll literally eat everything. And they're beautiful creatures. I love the individuality of all the various breeds. That's my favorite one right there. It's an Americana that has very unique stripings. She's the only one like that in my whole flock. I've got several other ones that look similar because they're the same breed, but this one here is one of a kind, unique. Yeah? You guys having fun? Do you feed them vegetables and worms, insects, same as their natural habitat? I bet you don't provide any chicken feed like grain. So thank you, RP. Yeah, somebody asked that question earlier. So their primary source of nutrition is basically the backyard. So in the backyard, I let the grass grow a little bigger, a little taller than I normally would because this basically is their all-you-can-eat buffet of what they consume. So that's their primary source of nutrition. Of course, as they're digging in the ground, especially early in the morning, you're going to have grubs and insects and other things that they will eat on as well for protein. And then, yes, I showed inside the Taj Mahal earlier that there is a supplemental feed, but they hardly eat any of that during the summertime. That primarily comes into play during the winter time, where there's very limited grass because everything's frozen. So that's the main difference is during the summer, a little less so on the feed. And the feed I do is more of a nutrient dense kind of feed to help with egg shell production and that kind of thing, and less so for nourishment. What they eat out here is the nourishment. Now, even in the winter, they are digging in the ground in the mornings, attempting to get any nutrition that they can out of the ground. And during the winter, all of these little water bucket things that I have set up are completely frozen over. So we have to bust through the ice if it's below freezing. We'll have to bust through the ice, remove the ice, and then refill the water. But it gets pretty hot during the summer. They pant like a little dog because they're so hot. Sometimes you'll see them lift their wings up. Right now it's early in the morning, so it's not quite as hot. It's a little humid. I'm already sweating out here videotaping, but it's a little humid in the morning, but not the blistering heat that it'll be later today. And it's at those times that they pant, they dig a hole, they get inside the hole because it's cool on the ground. That's how they keep themselves cool, and then they drink the water. Sometimes I'll come out here and throw some ice cubes into some of the water so they can cool off that way. I also can throw them some like frozen vegetables and fruit. In fact, just the other day, I gave them some frozen blueberries to help them cool off a little bit. During the winter, by the way, the egg production goes way down. I think it has to do with the length of day is not normal, it's shorter. And during the summer, the length of day, the daylight is longer. And so I think that helps regulate their cycle of when they lay eggs. And so for me, in the wintertime, that 19 probably lays somewhere between 4 to 8 eggs a day. And then during the summertime, I get about 8 to 16 eggs a day. So during the winter, it's a little harder to eat regularly eggs every day like I do now. So I enjoy it while I can. Yeah? Yeah, what else? Yeah, anything else you want to say? Yeah? Yeah. So, I'm one of the admirers of your work. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you, R. Pete from India. But I love backyard chickens. I'm a huge advocate for it. And like I said, they have been a godsend to me to give me lots of fat and protein. When financial stuff started getting a little harder after COVID-19, don't you eat. No, that bag is not for you. She's trying to come up here and eat the bag. Have I not given you enough worms? You are a greedy little chicken. Very greedy. So with it being a little more financially challenging the last few months, I've pretty much subsisted on eggs. So I'm very grateful for these girls taking care of me. See, I take care of you guys, so you take care of me when I need you. Right? Isn't that the way it works? Yeah? You are going for every little morsel you can get, aren't you? If you tip my bag over, I'm going to kick you. Don't you tip my bag over. Yeah, I got my eye on you. I don't trust you right now. You look like you're up to no good. Are you up to no good? Yeah, I think you're up to no good at all. You got a buddy coming to help you now. They make some funny noises, so you hear one of them like... When they lay eggs, by the way, you can almost always tell because I wish one of them was laying now so you could hear it, but they do this egg-laying song where they're just like going on and on and on. Yeah, we get it. You just laid an egg. Thank you. It's almost like they're proud of it. Like, yeah, you should be proud. You just made a little fat and protein bomb. You pooped breakfast. Yeah? You guys still enjoying those worms? You should. All right, guys, I think I have out chickened you today. This was kind of impromptu. I wasn't planning on going on a live, but I was out here watching my girls and I thought, man, I need to show my Instagram family what they do and how beautiful they are in the mornings. This is like their time of day to shine because they're just like going all over the place. Later today, they'll just do anything to keep from getting overheated. And that is a real concern, that the chickens can get overheated. I have in the past lost chickens because it got way too hot and they didn't drink enough water and they got overheated. So you kind of have to watch on them. So during the day when it's really hot outside, I'm always trying to do things to make sure I'm keeping an eye on them so they don't get heat stroke. All right, guys, let me pop off of here for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you make a sudden noise, watch this. I'm gonna do like a loud noise. Hey! They all kind of looked up when you do that. But see that one right there? She's scratching on the ground. That's what chickens do. They scratch, they peck. They step forward a little bit. They scratch some more. They peck. That's just what chickens do. All day, every day. All right, guys, let me get off of here for now. See ya.